All right, everyone, what is up? Welcome back. Welcome back. We are here with another Saturday morning personal development talk that centers around various things, but ultimately for those individuals in this thing we call planet Earth that have ever experienced any type of pain as a result of addictions, mental illness, trauma, or grief and loss. It's for anyone who is currently here in life and they want to get here, but they don't know how to get there, right? And so I'm the host of this talk. We've been doing this for about 4 years. If you go on our YouTube page of Buckeye Recovery Network, you'll see 4 years of me in various hair lengths and beard lengths and weights and giving the same type of talk with the same type of enthusiasm. And I hope you find some content there that's beneficial to you. My name is Parham. I do this every week pretty much for the most part, except the next couple of weeks. I'll let you know why. But I love doing this, so I have a master's degree in marriage and family therapy. I'm licensed as an addictions counselor. I am a college professor at Saddleback down in Mission Viejo. I really love doing that. Hopefully some positive news ahead in the next few months for us. I have been coaching high school basketball, and I continue to coach high school basketball. We just took our yearbook pictures, and this is going to be year 17 of the yearbook. Oh, my goodness. Talk about different versions of me in different yearbook pictures. 17 years straight doing something. And I'm also in recovery myself, so I refer the recovery to me is a complete shift in the way you live your life, right? Your mind, your body, your spirit, your soul. That shift for me came back in June 13th of 2008, which I used to live life a certain way. And I said, you know what? This isn't it. This is not this way the story is supposed to go. And since then, been on a quest of personal development and trying to become the best version of oneself. And this is an interactive talk. So, for example, there are people here in the chat that are saying, good morning. See, I can put the comments up there. Got the good old mom and dad in there. Got Bita, got Jade, Jess, what's up? So pretty much you can just put comments up here. You can put questions up here. You can provide feedback to each other in the group. Whatever you want to do. There's no right and wrong here. And so I was kind of thinking of what should I do today's talk on, right? I mean, it's after you do a talk for 4 years, it's like you eventually run out of things to say. Don't worry, I won't. It is impossible for me to run out of things to say, just so you know that. But I'm kind of thinking, well, what do I do? What value can I add to someone's life to help them, like I said, go from where they are to where they want to be? And where I landed on was, as a business owner or a business partner of a big business, when October 1 comes around, all of a sudden we tighten up our hats and we start looking very strategically, and we start to look at where we are into the year and where we're trying to get to and what the difference is between now and then, and how are we going to feel on December 31st if we made a good fourth quarter push. And I'm not even talking about just like financial goals. I'm talking about like experiential, qualitative, the feeling of success, those kind of things of how many lives that we touch. Like, what are we trying to get done by the end of this year? And so the fourth quarter is a time that individuals can actually sit down and reflect back on the year that has passed to make an honest evaluation, an honest assessment of their performance and how they showed up or didn't show up in this thing called life, to examine some of the obstacles and barriers and challenges that you may have experienced throughout the year, and lastly, to get some things done, right? We have about 90 days left in this year. 90 days is a significant amount of time to finally get some momentum towards accomplishing some of your goals that you might say, you know what, I didn't get to it this year, maybe next year. Like, how many times are we going to say that? How many times are you going to talk to someone in a passive conversation and say, can you believe it's October already? Can you believe what happened to this year? It's already almost done. Like, how many times do we have to have that same conversation? Yes, life goes fast. Some days it feels like it goes slow as hell and the clock's not moving. And some days it feels like what happened? But at the end of it, we've all learned this, that life goes on. Like, why are we surprised when it's October all of a sudden? It's like, oh, what happened to this year? I don't know. Maybe you should look and see how you lived your year to see what happened this year. And then on top of that, how many more times do we have to crack the joke of New Year's resolutions? Like, how many more times? Like, how many times is enough? Is it 5 years? Is it 10 years? Is it 15? Is it 20 years of setting New Year's resolutions and falling flat on your face over and over and over again? How many more times do you have to realize that that doesn't work? See, October 5th of 2024 is just as powerful, if not more powerful, than January 1st of 2025. You want to know why? Because today's the only day you actually have. I don't know if that day is going to come for you. Plus, if you don't do it now, you're not going to do it then. Like, how many people say, in the future, I'm going to start finding the energy and motivation to start working out, but today I don't have it. Unless you're like physically sick, and you got some impairments in the way that you actually can't. If you're able-bodied and healthy and you're not doing it today, you're not going to do it on January 1st. And you might, because you feel obligated or compelled to do it on January 1st. But by January 5th or 7th or 10th or 12th, that's over. Like, how many more times are we going to say, this is the year I get financially wise. This is the year I start saving money. This is the year I start losing weight. This is the year that I start setting boundaries. And then like 2 weeks into it, you're done doing it. Like, how many more times? So I'm trying to give you some invisible slaps with your permission, very gentle, soft ones. So please, nobody get mad at me. Just to say, hey, wake up. Wake up. Let's finish 2024 with some energy, with some vitality, with some enthusiasm, in order to build this thing called momentum going into 2025. Those who go into 2025 with some positive momentum will have a better chance of accomplishing their goals in 2025 than those who just eat through the holiday season, wake up January 1st and say, this year is going to be different. I love how we can just, people really hate sales. Nobody likes a salesperson, right? Because what? They're always trying to sell you something. They're always trying to get something from you. They always put you in bad situations. Well, guess what? I will tell you this. For those of you who believe in New Year's resolutions, you are a salesperson to yourself. You're selling something to yourself, and believe it or not, you're gobbling it up. And it's not just you. It's millions of people, tens and millions of people, maybe hundreds of millions of people just in this country have bought that sell. They're like, you know what? You're right. This is it. So I'm not going to do that because I think I've hit the hammer home of how ridiculous I think that is. So let's talk about the fourth quarter. So why is the fourth quarter important? Well, I've been on record since 2008 or 2009 saying any fool in the world can start something, but not many people finish what they start, let alone finish it with integrity and all the way through the finish line. So you all started 2024. I started 2024. And here we are right now. Some people have just let off, and some people are still going. This is the time that you say, you know what? I can't let off now. My life is too important. I am too important. My goals matter. My dreams matter. My happiness matters. I need to finish this year strong. The fourth quarter is where it happens. And we've watched enough sports. Everybody loves the underdog. You ever get that feeling, even if you don't really care for sports, you ever see like a team down 20 points or down 5 runs or down 3 goals or down whatever the heck sport you're talking about, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, and they come back and they win? Just the sheer enthusiasm, there's the motivation, the excitement, the happiness that they have, and the look of defeat on the other team. This is it. This is your opportunity to win this year. But if you continue to wait and wait and wait, not only have you let an opportunity pass you by, but you have really not learned the lesson that you're supposed to learn. And that lesson is what? There is no better time to accomplish your goals, your dreams, to transform your life than this moment right here, right now. The only reason I do these talks is I believe that in one of these moments, one person watching this is going to get inspired enough to realize that, yes, they can transform their life. And what's up to Sue and cousin Ryan from Cabo San Lucas? If you're ever in Cabo and you are looking for a special occasion, looking for any type of anniversary, any type of wedding, there is a Cabo flower shop over there, Cabo Flower House. And just hit up Mr. Ryan Kostravi and let him know that Parham sent you. And I am sure that he will give you the best flowers available at the best price. So just wanted to throw that in there, because I know you probably hate me for that, but it's okay. So let's get into what I created for this talk. So as you know, I'm one of those type A personalities that I like to create acronym systems because it helps me stay on track. Because if I don't, I'll start talking about one thing and I'll end up somewhere completely differently and you will not know what just happened. So I created a little acronym system that starts with the word, it's the word finish. Okay, so finishing the year, finish. And the F of finish stands for forward. What I need you to do is stop looking back at any type of mistakes, any type of guilt, any type of I could have, I would have, I should have that you may have from this year. If there's an opportunity that passed you by, stop dwelling on it. If there's something you wish you would have done, but you did it, let it go. If there is something that you thought that you needed to do, but never came around to actually getting it done, let that go. Only look forward. I'm telling you, get in your car today and just look at the rear view mirror the entire time you drive. Do not look forward and continue to drive staring completely at the rear view mirror, going 55, 60 miles an hour, and you're going to crash. See, it's okay to look at the rear view mirror once in a while because we got to see what's coming at us. You got to look at your past and you got to see if any of it's creeping back up again. It's even good to look at the side mirrors when you want to change lanes. Make sure there's no danger there in your blind spots. But you better be looking straight ahead. For my sake, for your sake, for our children's sake, look straight ahead. That's where life is happening. So the F is forward. Please, please, please start looking forward and stop looking back. The back has valuable lessons, though. The back shows us the accidents. The back shows us the dangers. The back shows us like what could we have done better. The beauty of looking back is it creates a very nice binary option. You either learn from it and it becomes a valuable asset, or you don't learn from it and it becomes a mistake. That's all the past is. It's either a learning experience or a mistake and nothing else. And I come across people that oftentimes just either live in the past or just, obsessed with the past. And when they look at it from a negative light, they're the ones that are the depressed ones. Depression likes to dwell in the past. The I that I have here is for something called invest. So the F was forward, the I is invest. Invest in yourself the next 90 days. I was doing this talk with our program participants this morning. And I know towards the holidays, nobody wants to be alone. Everybody wants to have a nice warm body to be next to or someone to be able to conversate with in the holidays. And if you're looking for that warm body right now in the month of October because you don't want to be alone in the holidays, whoever the heck you're going to meet is going to be a stranger, right? Like Thanksgiving, Christmas is like a month, 2 months away. They're going to be strangers. So people go and they invest all this time, energy, effort into finding someone so they're not alone, into a stranger. And then when that stranger doesn't fulfill their responsibility, they're too clingy, they're too codependent, they're too controlling, they're too blah boring, they're too blah 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 blah. They say, I never find the person I need. Well, you know what? Start investing in yourself. I do believe that at the end of the day, outside of a few people that might share the same last name as you, that might be biologically connected to you and maybe have been invested in your life, and some people that might not be, but they care of you like family. Outside of those people, nobody else cares. Yeah, they care. I'll give that. They think about you. You think about them. It's family. But outside of that, nobody else cares. And yes, nobody else will be there for you. But guess what? There's this one person, this one human being that not only has been there for you, is here for you, and will be there for you down the line. And that person is you. You are the common denominator between every event in your life that has ever happened. Yet we do not invest in that person. We do not invest in their mind, in their body, in their spirit, in their soul. We invest in other things, in other people, and we get sad when they let us down. Well, what if we just have it all wrong and twisted? What if we let ourselves down by not investing in ourselves? How can you expect to feel good about who you are and how you live your life and what you're doing if you don't invest in it? Think of it. Think of me as an account. If I invest in this account, I will look at the balance and I will say, damn, that's some good stuff. But if I don't invest in it and I think that I'm going to feel good and I get pissed off that I don't feel good, who else is there to blame? You don't blame the account. You blame the person that did or did not deposit into the account. And not only do we not deposit in ourselves, we deposit in external things, thinking that that validation is going to make us feel good about ourselves. So please finish the year strong by looking forward and investing in yourself. Now, the next one is this thing called navigate. And what I want you to know is something that you already know, actually. I'm just going to remind you that none of the goals that you have ever visualized in your mind and tried to make happen in reality have ever or will ever be linear. It will never be from point A to point B, and that's it. Just like when people build homes, they have a blueprint, they have a visual of what the house is supposed to look like, and they begin building. Not one house in the history of homes has ever looked exactly the way it was on the blueprint. They always face challenges and obstacles in between somewhere along the journey. And when they do they just say, you know what, this didn't work, let's go build somewhere else? No, they navigate through the challenges. They navigate through the problems to find solutions. And eventually it might be like this, but they get there instead of this. And as soon as people go like this, they say, you know what, this doesn't work. As soon as they face a little obstacle, a little challenge. I know many of you have faced challenges this year, 2024, big things in your life. People have passed away, people have left, you've lost a job, you've struggled with mental health, you struggle with addiction of yourself, of someone else. You've had some trauma. Man, it's life. It's life. Either you navigate through it or it just destroys you. And what I've learned from human species over the years is when catastrophe hits, when bad things happen, we have this resiliency on an individual level and on a societal macro level that we can learn how to pick up the pieces. We can get up and we can move forward. Watch what happens when things go bad in society. Watch how people come together. Watch how people get up and try again. It's built in our DNA. Yet when it comes to an individual level, when people fall down, they just give up and quit. They just give up and quit. So navigate through the circumstances, navigate through the storms, navigate through the challenges. If you don't know how to do it, ask. Ask for help. Get support. Do it with others. Get through it. One overwhelming moment at a time. All right, one overwhelming moment at a time. Now, the next one that we have here is the I, which stands for, by the way, if you have any questions or anything, or you want to put any comments about this stuff, if you want to talk about some of the goals that you had out in the beginning of 2024, and if you've accomplished them, feel free to brag a little bit. And if you haven't, maybe let us know what kind of obstacles and challenges you faced and why you were or were not able to navigate through them. And the I is, the second I is something called implement. Okay. See, again, on record, I've said the following, that everything in life is created twice, once inside the mind and once inside reality. So once you can see something in your mind and you can visualize it, I'm talking about with detail, with intricacies, visualize it. Then you have to take that and you have to implement some type of a way, a strategy, a path to making that idea become a reality, that vision becoming a reality. The implementation process is just as important as the visualization process. The visualization might be a little bit more important because without that, you can't implement, but they are very important. Some people are good at visualizing, but they're horrible in implementing. Some people are good at implementing, but they can't visualize nothing. You got to do both in this last quarter if you want to achieve the goals you have. Good morning, House St. John. Good to see you, my man. So, and implementation is a part that I always tell people, if you don't know how to implement in your life, stop trying to recreate the wheel. You know, everything that you're trying to accomplish in life, no offense, and I'm not trying to be rude, someone else has already done it. Someone else is doing it. I mean, yeah, you might be such an original thinker that that everything you do has never been done before in life because you're that special. Maybe, you know, I'm not. Everything I've done, there's people that have come ahead of me. You know, I'm in recovery. Well, so are another millions of people. I teach college classes. Well, teachers have been teaching for thousands of years. I play pickleball. Unfortunately, people have been playing longer than me. I wish they hadn't because they're ahead of me, but it's okay. I coach basketball. I coach with the coach that coached me. He's one of my role models. Nothing about me is unique. I follow the path of other people. So if you're trying to accomplish a goal, implement the tools and the strategies and the tips that they also have implemented to allow them to get success. People just try to figure shit out on their own. You know, they try to build something without the instruction manual because they're prideful or egotistical, or they think their box is different. You know, it's not. Just follow the path. What do we got here? Glad to be here. Okay. So the next one that I have here is to simplify. Now, as a practicing minimalist, someone who has realized that you can let go of almost all of your worldly possessions to make room for the things that matter. I can talk about this one in depth because it is a way of life that I truly subscribe to. Simplicity is the highest form of human sophistication. Simplicity is the highest form of human sophistication. Yet what do? We overcomplicate the most simple things. We overcomplicate situations. We overcomplicate moments of life that can just be looked at from a very, very simple lens, to go back to the basics. See, by removing everything in your life that is unnecessary, you create the room and the space for the things that actually matter. What would it look like if you let go of certain people in your life that have prevented you from accomplishing your goals in 2024? The toxicity that they bring. What would it look like if you let go of it for 3 months? What would it look like if you let go of some of the behavioral patterns that you have that have prevented you from achieving all your goals in 2024? Letting go of binge watching TV shows for a complete Saturday and Sunday, for coming home and just laying on the couch and not doing anything for the rest of the day. What would it look like to let go of that stuff? Because when you allow your mind to say, if I let go of this person or this situation or this thing, I'm able to do more, to accomplish more, that freedom that exists in just the thought of letting go. Now imagine the action of letting go, the creation of simplicity in your life. You know, there's research on something called decision choice fatigue. You know, that they want us to have so many options that we just get freaking tired and just pick one. You know, simplify the choices of your life. You know, simplify the amount of decisions you have to make on a daily basis, and just create a world in which what is important to you is what gets addressed and tackled. I can't tell you, here's another way. You know, if something you're stressing about right now is not going to mean anything next year or 5 years from now, stop stressing about it. The ultimate test of this is, you know, I've had, as a clinician, I've had human beings, one of the exercises as a clinician that I think is valuable is to write your own eulogy. And you might be thinking, well, that's a little bit too dark, or that's too depressing. No, it's not. Talking about death doesn't make things more depressing. It's a reality of life. It's something that we need to experience. Existential therapy is a thing. It is by dying that one awakens. So here's the reason why it is important to write your own eulogy. When you write your eulogy, you write these different things that are very common in people's end project. And they talk about what type of a family member they were, what type of character they had, who they, how they showed up in society, some of their, quirky little personality traits and sense of humors and inside jokes and all that kind of stuff. If it doesn't make it into your eulogy, like if something you're stressing about right now doesn't make it in your eulogy, is not there in the end, why should it matter right now? Yet we consume and overconsume and hyperconsume ourselves with things that don't matter, distractions that prevent us from happiness. Complexity, man. Why did we become like fiends to make things complex? I don't know. I got off that boat in 2007, by the way, 2017, just so you know. I decided, I'm like, dude, this is all a joke. Like, literally, this is all a joke. Like, people are chasing these weirdest things in search of happiness and fulfillment and contentment when, like, everything you actually have to be happy and joyful already exists inside of you, and it's, so they're always, someone always rebuts me on this, and they say, well, I work hard, I deserve to buy good things. And, I never said anything about that. If you want to go buy a $200,000 car, feel free. If you want to buy a $40,000 watch, feel free. If you want to buy $1,000 clothes, feel free. However, prior to doing that, you better sign an agreement with yourself that $200,000 car, the $40,000 watch, or the $1,000 outfit will not make you happier. So if you want to do it because you enjoy the aesthetic and you like it, that's cool. But don't ever be a fool and think that that's going to make you happy. Don't ever think that if you get this person in your life, that all of a sudden, all of the sadness and trauma and everything you have is going to go away. It's not. Unless you do the work, the deep work, to realize and understand that you are the source of your happiness and contentment, you will not find it anywhere else. So simplify the hell out of life. And the last one we have here is something called your habits. I can tell in about a 3-minute conversation about someone's habits if they are headed to success or they are headed to disaster. In 3 minutes. And I can even tell if people are lying about it, because there's a specific way you can ask questions in specific orders from beginning to end. And you can reverse it and go from end to beginning. And you can change time frames from the beginning of the week to the end of the week and from the end of the week to the beginning of the week. That most people that lie, this is actually a little trick if you ever want to mess with people. Cops know this really well. So most people, when they come up with a lie, they only do it from one perspective, one direction, one, linear one way. They rarely ever construct the lie backwards because nobody ever asks it. So when you construct the lie, when you ask them to tell it to you backwards, they have to start like thinking, and their eyeballs start looking around. And as soon as you see the eyes go up into a specific direction, they're searching for something that's not there. And then the wheel starts spinning. So I can tell really quickly if somebody is headed to success or disaster. Yo, what's up, Carly? Long time friend. Always good to see you. And why is it important to look at this fourth quarter and start to establish these habits? Well, if you do it right now, which by the way, we have about 90 days to establish these things. It's some good time. So if you got 90 days to establish these new habits, establish a new night routine. If you let go of all the crap you're doing that's preventing you from having a healthy night, let go of it for 90 days. Eat at a specific time, eat specific foods, drink specific fluids, meditate, stretch, go to sleep at a specific time, or at least try your best to set yourself up for success the next day. Wake up at an early time. Get some things done before the whole world even starts. Go walk around the block, maybe 2 walks around the block. Eat an apple in the morning. Maybe send a text message of gratitude to a few people. Maybe write in a journal. And see what happens after 90 days. I mean, it's worth it, right? But as soon as I say this, people say, oh, it's too hard right now because we have the holidays coming up. Well, you know what? Then you don't deserve for your goals to happen. I'm going to say some controversial things here pretty soon. Your habits create your world. how you live your life every day is what will be projected back to you. So this is what I want to say. I want you to know that just by being a good human being, that does not mean that you deserve to have all of your goals and dreams come true. And here's why I say that. Okay, so, there's this question that always goes on in the academic world. Are human beings inherently good or inherently bad? Well, I believe that for the most vast majority of the human species, we are inherently good. Are there some bad apples out there? Absolutely. Are there some people out there that negatively impact the world and they're selfish and they harm others? Absolutely. I'm not stupid. But I believe for the most part, throughout different cultures, different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different areas of the world, people are cool, man. And let's just say there's 6 billion good people and 2 billion bad people. So if 6 billion other people were good, don't they all deserve their hopes and goals and dreams to come true? Well, I've sat in a therapy room across good human beings that are struggling with the fact that their goals, their dreams, their hopes, their ambitions do not come true. And when I ask them, tell me about your habits and what have you done to make that come true? First, they talk about all the problems. I'm like, all right, well, this person's not solution focused. But then I quickly realize, and I let them know, it's like, why do you feel entitled to having that come true when you haven't actually created a life, habits that are going to lead you to that success, when you haven't put in the work? Like, how delusional can we be as adults to think that we will get something in life without putting something in? If that's you right now, I want you to just wake up and say, you know what? This guy's got a point. I've been waiting for things to get better in my life, just hoping by happenstance that it's going to happen. And I haven't really been doing it. So how about this? For the next 3 months, do it. Yes, the holidays are coming up and it makes things more difficult. Well, why do you think you deserve to have things get accomplished in your life during difficult times without trying? This is the moment that you can separate yourself from your past self and your future self. And the ultimate thing is we build some momentum to make 2025 more successful. What do we got here? Amen to habits. We got Carly saying, what's up? Not sure where she's at these days, but Carly's transformed her life in a really cool way. And Lance, you have transformed your life in a really cool way. I know you are a man of habit. He's probably in a gym right now, doing some passive lifting or cardio, listening to me in the ear and trying to level up. But, he's a man of habit. So all that being said, today's talk was pretty cool. I had fun doing it. And the thing about it was, see, this is good. I like this. Lance said, holidays are only a mental challenge to make us stronger. It's everything in life. When it's difficult, it's an opportunity. I embrace difficult moments and situations because for those who look at it as an opportunity and find a way to navigate, like we talked about, through the difficulties, they're able to get through it with little to minimal to no negative impact. For those people who say, oh, it's too difficult, it's just going to, guess what? It's going to gobble them up. It's going to eat them up. And we'll have a whole talk on the holidays and how to kind of stay mentally strong in the holidays. I have a good talk for it. I usually do it in November. See, he's in the gym. He's not a paid actor. I had a feeling he's there. So long story short, today we covered the fourth quarter of the year. And I gave you an acronym system. If you feel like, you know what, there were some moments in here that you need to rehear, watch it again. If you feel like there's someone in your life that you want to send this to, send it to them. And if there's anything else I can personally do for you, feel free to let me know. I will gladly do my best within the limitations or the restrictions that I have. And I will be back in a few weeks. So I'm going to be traveling out of town, going on a little personal vacation, something I don't do too often, but I'm going to be doing it. It's well needed. And for those of you I see in person on Tuesday, I'll see you guys. For everyone else, adios.